Welcome back to the stream, friends. My name is Joel Duggan, and this is Satisfactory Wednesday. We're going to be back in Devastator working on the steel production, which we lost a bit of work on because of a game crash last weekend, I think. And we're back to normal. I took about a half an hour or so. That's the thing about doing something, one, the second time, and two, when you're not streaming, it takes about half the time. So everything is back up and sorted as far as the coal inputs. Everything is belted for the steel, or sorry, the iron inputs, but we're short on iron production. But I've got some ideas about where we can get some of it. And we're going to be bringing it in, I think, via train, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So, as a quick recap, we have 40 foundries. We only need 20 for the heavy modular frames. The rest of the steel is going to be sent over to motors and stators because we're going to be using an alternate recipe for that. The logistics floor is below, which I think I can get access over here. So we have all the belts and everything happening down here, which is very, very cool. We have yet to turn everything on because we have nowhere for the steel to go yet. But we are in pretty good shape. And one of the things I thought I would try to do is bring in the power in separate lanes, because technically we have enough iron for 3 of these lanes, but not the 4th. And so I'm going to give the lanes a letter: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. And we'll probably turn on these 3 when we are ready to go. But if we look at the spreadsheet, here's the thing. I've got extra iron ore coming off of the screws. And I've got extra iron ore coming off of the rods. So 120 and 200 is 320. We only need another 400. So like we are just short, which is both frustrating, but also like it gets us almost to where we need to go. So I'm going to see if I can figure out where I can loop some of this together. So this is coming from, I think this is just wrong. I think this is just incorrect now. So floor 4 and floor 5, that should be 600 a piece coming in. We're going to check that out. I've got it labeled downstairs. Puke blocks, Meadow, SweetSandi, Low, good to see y'all. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, the crash wasn't too hard to recover from. And actually, I fixed a couple of mistakes. Remember when I was raising all of these to be up here? Turns out I only need to raise the main input bus. Everything else is fine. It totally works down here. I couldn't have the balancing on the same level, but I could totally have all of these on the same level. The only time they got lifted up was over here when we ran out of space because there's a big rock underneath us. So I lifted them all up here, but other than that, everything is pretty straightforward. So I'm quite happy with the way that that's turned out. We need to look at the iron. So there is North Smelting, 600 per minute. And North Smelting, 600 per minute. That's floor 4 and floor 5. Right. That's up here. This is 3. Need 4. This is floor 4. It's 10. Low. Not for load reading. I'm assuming this is just a DM for me, so I will read this wonderful message from a $50 donation from Low. That's fantastic news, Low. I'm so good to hear it. And I'm glad that the content can provide some entertainment when you need it. And sanity, apparently. But cheers. Really, really appreciate you as being part of the community, and thank you so much for the support. And glad things are well, as they can be. Thanks so much, Lo. So yes, this is indeed 600 a minute. That's 10 and 10. And that is going out there. This is also 600 a minute because I think I've got 12 at 25 per minute. Or 24 rather. Yeah, 600. All right, so that's the 600 that we were looking for floor 4 and floor 5. So if I go back to my spreadsheet, this is smelters 4 and 5. We're not using half. And this is actually 44. We've got 20 here and 24 at 85%. No, not that. I think they're at 85%. No, 83.33. That's close. And that is not 900 ingots per minute. That's 1,200. And that's going into foundries 40. That means that none of this exists. And this is going to go in a couple different directions here. We're going to have to move this down. I'm going to add a layer. So this is going to go to motor stator production. And that'll be south, actually. And let's make that blue. It seems kind of tedious, but honestly, this kind of stuff makes your world a lot easier when you go and sort it out. So all of these numbers are wrong. This stuff should be fine. But the output is going to change here. So we need steel pipes. We need 560 a minute, and we need 240 a minute. So 560 plus 240 is 800. And so what is our max? So foundry, I guess I'll pop back into the game here. We'll check a foundry. $60 per minute, and we've got 40. So we're doing 2,400 out. No, that's not. That's steel ingot. So that's 2,400 total. So we're making a lot more than we need. We need 360 and 840. So I was looking at the wrong numbers. So equals... Whoops. $1,200. So we have another 1,200 unaccounted for. So that's what this number is going to be. I know I'm doing math. So essentially we've got 40 foundries kicking out 2,400 total, and I should probably put that in here. That way I can just kind of pop that over here. So then we've got 12, 360 and 840 is also 12. So these ones are just going straight to steel pipes, and those go directly into the heavy modular frame. We don't have that hooked up yet. Then we have 1,200, and we have another 840 down here. So the steel pipe that we're going to be using, I'll bring up a constructor. I thought I had one around, but I guess I deleted it. We're just using the basic steel pipe. 30 steel ingots go in, 20 steel pipes come out. We don't have any alternate recipes for this, from what I can tell. Nope, just the one. So if we have 30 coming in, that's all of these recipes are right. This is weirdly, there we go. 20 steel pipes come out. And so our assemblers, 20 assemblers doing 28 steel pipes per minute. I'm just gonna double check this math. 20 times 28, 560. And then 560 divided by 30. No, 20. Yeah, okay, so that's 28 constructors. I don't really care about the megawatts. $240 divided by 20 is 12. And that's not going to be 240. This is going to be a different number. This is going to be 1,200 divided by 30. 40. Oh my gosh. 40. And then 40 times 20 is 800, right? So we're going to be making a total of 1,600 steel pipes. 800 a minute. That's a lot. I don't know what we're going to be using them all for, but hopefully it'll be useful. Some of these constructors actually might end up being made into... we might split these up and have them go into steel beam production. And that will eat up a good amount of those constructors. So I'll have to look and see what I need for production. But we know we'll need around 40 constructors. So 90? That's a lot. It might be better to send the ingots across the way. So I might be better off to do these constructors here. This is 40 constructors. And that's quite doable. So what we could do is have the 40 constructors that are making steel for heavy modular frames here. And then I could send the rest of this steel over there into what will be the stator and the motor section of the production. And that should work out. And I'm doing well, thanks, Lo, for asking. Appreciate it. So we need 40 constructors. Now, the cool thing, we already have a constructor floor set up with blueprints and whatnot. These, I believe, are bays of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, okay, they're only 8, but we could easily make it into 10. It's expandable in that one direction. So that's fine. The level at which it's going to be is actually going to be even with this floor. The question is, do I want to add in a logistics floor so that we don't have to deal with all of this belted nonsense? Here we've got stuff hanging. The inputs are down the middle. And the outputs are at the top, and that's a little cumbersome. So I have an opportunity here with vertical space to do something more interesting. So this is where these the ceiling is going to be here. So instead of going straight up into the next floor, I could go up another level. Although, if I do that, I start to... I've already got these floors kind of assigned. I'm just trying to decide if I want to maintain that floor integrity or if I want to add something. I could always do a logistics floor here. So instead of seeing these go up there, I could drop the logistics floor. Have the ceiling in here come down. Or I could do what I've done before, and we could have these guys be fed. Oh no, these have to go up into a different feed, I guess. Yeah, so I need to at least have a ceiling on here. Because these all output in that direction. So the input's going to be down here. We'll use this guy as an example. This will come out here. So that will be the first output. And now we just have to look at where our machines are going to go. I think the blueprint has the panels in it, maybe? Screws, rods. Let's just go with the screws for now, just to kind of see. Yeah, okay, so I've got the panels in it. So we'd have to have those aimed a different direction. I also have to make sure I can fit 10 constructors. I'd say we might as well use this blueprint. What do you think, folks? Jedzia, you're close to the wildfires? I think I saw there was one near a suburb of Halifax. They were still trying to wrangle. I am not. I don't remember the distance, but I'm a good 20 or 30 kilometers away. I am on the other side of the city. I'm on the east, southeast. The fires were in the northwest. There are still a number of wildfires in Nova Scotia that are burning. I think the last time I saw a report from the government was that they were 85% under control. That doesn't mean that they're out. It means that they're not spreading and causing more issues. We've had 4 days of rain, so that's good. However, the rest of Canada is still dealing with a lot of wildfires. Quebec is currently on fire. Ontario has a lot of wildfires going. And BC and Alberta have also been dealing with wildfires for the last month or so. It's all global warming, and a lot of the rhetoric online and in the news is talking about dangerous burning activity and stuff like that, and that might be the cause of the start of the fires. But the reason why the entire country is so dry is because we had very little snowfall this year, and that means that the ground is not wet. It means that it's more likely for wildfires to be able to take hold and become big problems much faster. This takes up 1, 2, 3 by 1. But thank you for asking. Appreciate it. So I'm sure I have 10 of these. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gives us this amount of room to wrangle the belts and have them go where we need them to go. That's good. I just have to be conscious of which way I want this to export. I think I want them to export towards that direction. So just as an example, we could move that. I guess I'll just place the blueprint temporarily. This is for screws. And so I've got the output with the little black square. Nope, that's input. Output. Yep, okay, that's right. So this is currently the wrong recipe and stuff. But that would be what we would be looking at. It would fit nicely if we wanted to continue these floors. I feel like that might be a good way to future-proof what we're doing. I mean, ultimately they're constructors. They're not exactly pretty machines. So then we just have to figure out where all of these belts are coming from and what they need to have on them and how we need to do the distribution. So this would be 2 rows of 20. That would give us our 40. The problem then after that is that we have to be able to shoot the right amounts to other locations. But I guess first things first, let's look at what we need to do to belt this stuff up. Fast and easy to use existing blueprint if you can get it to fit on the floor. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing. I think that'll get us going faster. I'll get more inventive when we get into the other stuff, I think, the more complicated things. But when it comes to constructors and stuff like that, like, they're not even that exciting. You're just kind of brute forcing things. So 60 per, and we've got 10 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is going to be a Mark 5 belt. It doesn't have to be Mark 5 all the way along, but we might as well. Honestly, I like the Mark 4 look better. Maybe we'll just use the Mark 4. Let's change the color though. So we'll do this is the standard for now. And then I'll just do a Mark 4. Just because they have nice color to them. Now, at a certain point, we have to use Mark 5, is whenever this gets above 480. Yeah, so at the 8th one, because there's 60 apiece. That's 120, that's 240, that's 360, that's 480. So I would say at this point here, so that's a Mark 5, and then this would be Mark 5. So that's going to be 600, and this is going to need, I guess we'll change the recipe on this. So if we do some of these with steel pipes, then it'll be a different ratio. So we might just have some machines just not working. I haven't looked to see what I might need for beams. Steel pipe is 20 per minute. So that's 40. So that's only 400 in here. And that's because I'm going to need... Oh no, I need 40 constructors just for this. Right. Okay. I remember this now. So we don't need all of this. What we need for these 40 constructors is 1200. So I only need 2 belts. Well, that makes this even easier. Out of curiosity, oh, I made the top left Mark II, thanks. I'm probably going to redo it anyway. So we've got, so on my spreadsheet here, we've got these steel ingots have to be turned into pipes and sent directly to heavy modular frames. And then these have to be sent to assemblers to become encased industrial beams. So we've got 12 and 28, so that's 40 right there. But then the 360 and 840 is 1200. But each row of 10... Oh, I did the math wrong in my head. I was looking at the wrong number. I do that all the time. So it's 30, and there's going to be 20, and that should be 600, right? 30 times 20, 600. Yeah, so that's great. That means I don't have to do... so that we've got 4 belts, and only 2 of them are coming upstairs. The other 2... I mean, I guess we could bring them upstairs, but it might be better to send them along somewhere else. So what we'll do is we'll just pick the 2 that make the most sense to send up. And I would say, depending on how this might work, it might be the 2 end ones here. My guess is that that's not going to be a nice clean... No, of course not. Why would that line up nicely? That's just annoying. I could try it underneath here, maybe. No, that's not going to work either. So maybe the thing for aesthetics would be to use this one here. Because then at least I could make a simple L shape. So that would just feed directly in the machines. We might even start them back here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Leaving these ones free. Or any kind of distribution or load balancing that we might need to export, because we're going to have to send them out to the next room, and so that could give us a little bit of leeway there. And again, I've got to remember to leave room for things like a staircase and, you know, a place to come out and kind of have a breath. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's plenty of room. Consider we don't have to do any balancing. This is now only room for 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your math is wrong. Look, I just did math wrong myself not 2 seconds ago, so like it's fine. It's hard when you... it's one thing that's very challenging without having a top-down view is kind of getting your spatial awareness sorted. So let's just think this through. We're going to have steel pipes coming out, so that means we're going to have less going out. So we're going to have 400 coming out of each line. So again, oops, it's the wrong button. So we've got 40 times 20 is... No, 20 times 20, 400. 400 and 400. That's only 800. 560, 240, that's 800. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I was looking for folks that was wondering. I was looking at this right here, 240 and 560. So we're going to have 400. We'll have to get some of these load balanced into the different machines. One thing we could do is use smart overflow splitters, or we could just see if we can balance this. Either way, we have to do these 40. So it looks like we need to go to the blueprint designer and mock up a change to this. I guess we'll keep the red. Sure. I moved some power switches around too. Oh yeah, the stream delay would make sense for like miscalculations like that and wondering if I did it right. Yeah, I get that. So let's load up the I don't think I'm going to change the color for the steel beams. So we'll just load up the screws again. And we'll change the name. I guess we'll do just pipes. Two constructors back to back, center fed. I center export. Pipe. Change the color. I need to make a proper saved color for steel. I don't know if I have one. Set directory. Production. There we go. Instructors. It's good. And we'll save it. And then just to make sure it's different, we'll change the recipes. We'll change the color scheme. We've lost a light. Probably a good chance to go on a break anyway. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, don't forget those. All the power is sorted. And that should load up properly. Do we have the little... We do have the little things. That's the export side. Cool. So again, I'll just save that again. Confirm. And then we'll clear the designer. And I'll just try to bring it up here. See if we've got it in the right spot. See, it didn't put it in the right category, and I don't understand. You saw me do it, right? Like you saw me put it in the right spot. Yeah, it didn't save it where you put it. Exactly. Apply changes. I mean, it's easy to fix. It's just it's annoying. trains, foundations, production. So that's just the 2 steel ones that we had, and this is the pipes. So if I grab this, it's going to be red. Cool. I'm going to go on a break. I know it's a little bit earlier, but I'd like to line these up with the nighttime because it's really hard to see what we're doing in this game. I've really thought about playing modded and just stopping the night cycle. Enable time train. Let's go Megatron, Construction 2, and I'll go back to Megatron, and then back here. That should be about 6 minutes. If you're new to the stream, I take a break once an hour. Gives me a chance to refresh my coffee. Grab a snack, grab a break, whatever you need. We'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. All right. Thanks, SweetSandi. Meadows says it's brave to move a world with this many hours into modded. That's fair, yeah. And that's probably why I won't do it. In the day-night cycle, it does provide some cool lighting in the evening and in the dawn. Usually in early morning there's some cool lighting. It's more about just the fact that I lose these opportunities for continuing to work. I mean, it works out fine after I've set up my stream to break on the darkness, because I need to take that 5-minute break once an hour anyway. In Satisfactory it ends up being every 50 minutes, because I think it's 50 and 5 is the day-night cycle. But, you know, little things like that. I've actually thought about doing a backup and taking my experimental save, backing that up, bringing the experimental save up to update 8 when it comes out, and then loading it all up into the Satisfactory interactive map online and copying my Autobot playthrough and combining it with my Devastator Decepticon playthrough. It could be really cool. It would save me a lot of time. I like the idea of everything, because I don't know why I started that experimental playthrough. It was such a strange decision. To be fair, I'm generally scared about losing saves or them getting corrupted. If it happens, I usually drop that game. Yeah. No, it's fair. I mean, I think people were around for my crash the other day where I lost, you know, just an hour's worth of belt work, but it was really annoying. All right, so something I don't want to skip ahead beyond is the fact that I want to plan for where this is all going to be exported. So we bring up our blueprints. That's the export. So it goes there. So this is where everything's going to come out. So we're going to have some tiles up here. And so I really want to find out what's going on over here. So we've got pretty much a blank slate. I've written down some stuff, obviously. Assemblers making 80 modular frames. Modular frames to heavy modular frame production, which could be up, which could be down. Okay, so these are all modular frames. How many are down there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a lot. Okay, so it might be better to send the pipes. I could either send them through the wall, or I could send them down to the main bus. We do have room. So the export could be just something as simple as dropping them down and sending them out to the main bus right here. And have that be pipes. And that could be good because that means that the other pipes from here could be brought out to this as well. We'd have to do 2 belts though, because we've got... Sorry, ingots. Oh, ingots are going to be tricky. I guess I could do 2 floors of constructors. It all depends on how I want to run this. I could just do another floor like this and have 2 floors of constructors again if I wanted to do the other 40 over here. That might be the easiest thing, but I'd still need how many pipes? 1,600 a minute? Yeah, 1,600 a minute. So that's 3 belts minimum. If I was used a main bus. I think that's the issue with this whole main bus idea, is that it really fills up quite quickly. But we have access to at least 2 belts here, plus obviously this end here. It's just gonna be a matter of tracking where things go. Losing a few hours, I'd probably focus on something else for a little while, but the save gets so unplayable, it's years at best before I go back. Yeah, I find that I've gotten frustrated with games like that. I've tried time and time again to get back into No Man's Sky, and Alistair is actually looking at it because it's available for Mac now, and he's just trying to figure out, because he already owns it, whether or not he has to buy it again, or whether his copy will allow him to play on Mac without having to buy it again. And if that's the case, I might try to play with Alistair, because I think multiplayer in that game is kind of a fun thing I might have overlooked. But I'd probably have to start again, because otherwise there wouldn't be much point playing with Alistair, right? It'd be better to be at the same level the whole way around. Do I want to... How many? This is going to be 2 belts. It's such a nice tidy belt of 600 to take the ingots and take them over there. I guess one thing I should look at is our alt recipes for motors. Oh, maybe I don't have the alt recipe for motors. Oh no, it's rotors. Rotors, not motors. Yes. Do I have it written down wrong? I do. In my notes I had motors. It's stators and rotors. Motors is what we make afterwards. So 10 per minute for steel pipes, and then stators is, I've got, well, 3 per minute. So we can make an awful lot of stators. What other things are steel pipes used in? We're going to want some steel beams too. Actually, that could alleviate the belt problem. If I create steel beams, then I don't have to, I can separate them on the different belts. That would reduce the capacity. That would reduce the capacity. So we're using that alternate recipe. They're used in those nobelisks, rifles, stator, crystal beams. We're not doing that. We're doing the encased industrial beam. We might need more encased industrial beams too. Steel frames. We're not doing that. Alternate miner, steel rotor. See, these are the. This is the one that we're doing too. Block signals. Oh, those are all parts and things. All right. Well, what about the encased industrial beam? That's used in uranium. Belts. Those really only used in construction, not so much production, except for nuclear, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go into uranium anytime soon. And what about steel beams? Shout out to IamKibitz. Great content creator, by the way, folks. You should go follow IamKibitz. I'm Cosmic and I both are the same. We've watched enough IamKibitz where whenever he says beam, you can't think of another way to in your head other than how he says it for fun on videos. It's an earworm. Novelisk. Platinum fuel rod. Sorry, plutonium fuel rod, excuse me. Steel screw. Yeah, they're not really heavily used in production. These are all things that happen after. Like it's after this, it's all aluminum. Like once you get up into the aluminum tier, it's all the aluminum parts that seem to be heavily featured. A lot of base parts. So we'll have to build some, but like it's not gonna, like we don't need to be making tons of steel beams. It's mostly it would be mostly just to kind of balance out our load. Oh, versatile framework. That's where we might need some. All right, so we should try to figure out how many of these constructors on that second floor could be used for steel. That could be a thing. Whoops. I have to remember that. Hence the note. I've lost my mouse. I can't move. What's going on? Oh, autosave. I was like, what's going on? Okay, so we know that these are being exported, and we know we're going to be using the center along here. Two, three, four. Switch to Mark 5, and that should be good. Ooh. Right, because they're facing different directions. I'll just move that. That way this will be symmetrical. Cool. Now that all looks correct. We'll have to get rid of this. Steel pipe. Steel pipe. import here for the steel ingots, and then export up here. So we have to figure out two things. One, a stairwell to get up here. And two, I need a plan for getting the steel pipes where they need to be. So if I wanted to, I could bring them outside, or we could bring them down inside. They're not going to be needed here. So it would make sense to kind of send them down in this area. And there are two of them. And this would be, what did I say? 800? 20 times 40, yeah. So 20 times 20, this would be 400 here. That fits on one belt. The Beefaroni, great username. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Is if there is Mac Windows crossplay, fingers crossed for you there that there is. I think so. The problem that I have encountered is that I wanted to be able to play on my PC for No Man's Sky and on my Xbox. However, my save on my PC is on Steam. And my Xbox save is via Game Pass. And in order to do it's not called crossplay, it's called cross save. To cross save, I'd have to save everything on a Windows Store version of No Man's Sky, which I have access to, but I can't take my Steam save and get it over to the Windows save. Because there's lots of cool things about No Man's Sky that are very like lean back and chill. And I would love to do that on the couch, especially with my Govee lights behind my TV with how colorful No Man's Sky is sometimes. Like, that would be an epic experience. But I just haven't looked into it. I probably should because I pay for Game Pass. So if we bring these out, I might send them down somewhere around here. Maybe not right in the dead center. It could be kind of fun to showcase this, you know, like to actually have it be visible. Actually see it go down. Sometimes I like to put it behind glass. Sometimes I prefer to like actually just see the thing going down. It's kind of cool because we can do that, or we could do something, well, I guess glass, or without the glass I could like frame it up somehow. I'm trying not to get too caught up in just the logistics. Like I kind of want to think about how I want these things to look as well. We also have to think about what's down below. So if that was moving with parts on it, you'd be able to see it. And that could look pretty cool. And we wouldn't have to do it there. We could also push it out to the edge. I think I like that idea. Okay, so that's the 2 exports for that floor. But then what do we do with the exports for the top floor? Because we need another 40 constructors, right? I guess we could just line them up next to another. Worry about where to put them later. Problem for future Joel. What do we do with these other exports, though? I've cut off the electricity here, I think. So I could have those there. We have lots of room. So these could actually go up along a wall or something. Kind of want to give myself lots of depth. And I've given myself 2. So this could be the cavity wall part here. Oh, I'm building in all kinds of different colors now. It's too bad that's on a weird angle. I guess I could try to put those in the center. Oh, that didn't work down there, though. If I put that there... Yeah, this doesn't even line up with like a wall hole. One thing I didn't think about, I guess, when I did the export for these, I probably should have lined them up a little bit better. I was so concerned about the slick connection here, I didn't think about where it was going to line up on the actual foundations. You don't even own a TV? Wow. Yeah, I bought a new TV during the pandemic. Treated myself. 55-inch 4K TCL. It's not the top of the line. It has some limitations. A little buggy sometimes, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. I guess the thing to do would be to scooch it into a direct line. That's probably about as good as we're going to get. So that means this can go up in the wall. And then our next floor is up here. So that'll be the import up here if we need it to. So that means we have enough room there. So then it would be a matter of where the export on the next floor would be coming out. Basically just the same thing as here, but just higher. And I guess we would just scoot it over. I don't know at that point where we have room on the belts, though. We would have room on the top, but that would be it. There's a TV in the house. I just don't care to watch any, probably because Dad sits in front of it most of the day. Yeah. I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, I've got a couple of streaming services. I canceled Netflix. I watch Apple TV Plus. I watch a little bit of Prime. Prime, it's usually whenever there's a movie that I like, or like Lord of the Rings or something specific. Reacher. What's the other one that I have? Oh, Disney Plus. Disney Plus is... I watch a lot of Star Wars stuff. And any new Marvel movies that come out on Disney Plus. Okay, well, I think that's a solid plan. I think we can probably execute at least this part here, right? Oh, you know what I should do? I should think about what color these are. Maybe we want to make those a specific color. I mean, gray looks okay. I wonder if black would be better. Or I wonder if we should change them to steel. I think we went over this before and people preferred the coated concrete. Although in this case the machine covers a lot of it, right? Yeah, that doesn't really match, does it? Because you can't really get like super black. With just the concrete. You really don't have a lot of options. SweetSandi says we canceled the TV subscription that we had some years ago. National TV is free, paid by tax, so that's all we have. Yeah, I need to look into, because I wouldn't mind having CBC for like Olympics and some bigger sports things and stuff like that, but I haven't really gotten into it. I don't really watch a lot of sports. I'm the kind of person that will very much enjoy a game of something. Football, golf, basketball, baseball. Well, maybe not baseball, but like if it's on at somebody's house and the people that I'm with are into it, I'm totally cool. But I just don't go out of my way to watch it on my own. I used to be a big NBA fan. That was my sport I used to watch. Yeah, I've reduced a little bit of my streaming just because I found that I wasn't really using it very much. I guess we'll go... Oh, what about like a color? What if we did like a color? That doesn't really look very good either. I feel like I want it to be more of a neutral. So I need something in between 5 and 6. What's that's 6. So that's 0.15 and 5 is 0.5. So maybe 0.3 or something? Wait a minute. 0.15. 0.5. So that's 35 in the difference. That's 1.5. That's 0.5. So, yeah, like maybe a 3. I think that's a decent enough contrast. So what I'll do is I'll load that change up in the Blueprint Designer. Oh, Meadow, no worries. I tend to expect typos on Twitch. People are usually typing on mobile or typing quickly in chat. It's all good. At least you're aware of it, right? SweetSandi says hubby would like to watch Formula 1. I've never been a car guy. I've never got into racing. Nothing like that. I respect that it's an endurance kind of sport and stuff, but production pipes. So we'll just use the 0. Change that. Save it. Confirm. Clear to the designer. A little bit of a trip, but we're there. No, too far. Okay, so I guess before we really do a final push to get everything in place, it's probably going to be good to work out where the stairwell is going to be. And we might be exporting either here or there. Or like I said, maybe on the outside of the building. It could be good to just have the stairwell here. I wish that these didn't clip into the walls. It makes no sense that they disappear, but anyway. You can't get up inside of one single foundation. It has to be at least 2. So that doesn't really work for what I want to do. Neither does the wall showing up between the floor. I don't know why they do that either. I really dislike that. Yeah, that's tricky. I'm not sure how I want to get up and down. I guess we could use this space. I have to decide whether these are going to be on the inside or the outside of the building too. I guess if I looked at the Devastator board, we might be able to come up with some, I guess, designs that are on Devastator that we could use outside. Got a fair amount of like purple vertical pieces in places. That's the kind of thing where like we could change the color of the belts to purple. Add some lights, that kind of thing. Yeah, dark gray belts. Well, that's what I mean, like this is kind of like that dark gray that I'd be looking for, but I'm just trying to think like, do I want that back there? Or would it be better to have this kind of a thing out here, right? So that's on the outside, right? Because then I don't have to worry about the stairwell. I just have to worry about making sure that the export is going in the right spot. That should be it. I think I like the idea of it better on the outside. Things more to look at. Okay, so that would mean that this would have to come all the way to here. Now, thankfully, these machines are lined up so that this can be export. And I said it was 400. Nice and straight. I think it's that one. We've done similar stuff down here, right? But we haven't decorated them. You can see where I kind of had the idea. The fact that I can't see here in the middle of the day is silly. And I guess it doesn't matter because you're not going to be able to see the actual item anyway. Unless I turn this sideways somehow. I guess I have to start at the top, maybe? Although, yeah, that works. Okay. So then the items would be coming down on the outside. That works. You just have to figure out some sort of cool decoration for the top of it. Don't know what we could do there. This is where my knowledge is a little bit lacking in terms of like the kind of things that you can do. Like we could totally hide the whole thing, right? Yeah, I think the items being visible would be cool. I mean, the items are going to be beams, so they're going to be quite visible on the belt. Like when you take a beam out of your inventory, like it'll look like that, right? So it'll be quite vertical. But it will be dark, that's the only thing. But I think I like that idea. I'm also not sure if this is going to be a single wide opening or a triple opening. I think I want it to be a triple wide opening. But I like that kind of like brutalist kind of approach. And we could even add like little, you know, like to go with some of the, oh, maybe not that big. Right? Like maybe have with that. You know, it's kind of pinkish. So even just having purple lights there would be good. Something to draw your attention to it. The orange overlay is still there? It shouldn't be. Because I changed the layout, right? Under the layout sections. Right? I went with this. Yeah, I didn't know about that either. They don't do a very good job of signposting that you can change that. Which is weird because like you look at this and you see these all have icons next to them. Well, this one doesn't, but like this doesn't look like a button where these look like buttons. I feel like they should maybe, I don't know, they should have this be other settings or have it be across the top or something. It's an odd way that the UI in this game is really inconsistent. Okay, well I think that gets us where we want to go. I miscolored this by mistake. So I am confident that we can remove this stuff. I'll put in a temporary floor here. So we should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm going to change this briefly. So I'll get rid of that. And now we just have to figure out... So we've done the export. I don't really need anything happening here. So this is all kind of like just room to breathe, I guess. I guess I could use this for maybe some change in decoration. Like maybe the inside of the building comes in at an angle or something here. I don't know. But I have all this space to move if I need to. I'm not sure what I would need to do up here. We could have like switches for things. I don't know. It feels weird not to use all this space for something, but I thought I was going to need to send belts this way, but I don't think I have to. Because I don't think they're going to be needed until way over here. So we don't need steel pipes again until this setup here. This is one of the places they need to go. And then anything else they need to go to is going to be probably directly above them. So it's better to put them on the main bus and get them back out this way. Because that way they'll come along down here on the bus and we can just pull them out as we need them. M, hello. Good to see you. With fast belts, it's not so much what's on them, it's the movement that's cool. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so I think we're ready to start placing blueprints. It is a game of like double checks and triple checks, but I think we're good. I'm going to pull some power up here. This is just for construction. I think we're good to go. So I want the side that doesn't have the block on it. That's it there. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm out of rods. I think I've got rods next door. Game of double check and triple check? Yep. Especially when you're dealing with blueprints. That's for sure. One thing I guess I should note is that if we, depending on where we put these beams, we might not be able to see that move at all. So I'll have to be careful of that. Did I put these down the wrong way? I did. It flipped it. Look at that. I double and triple checked that, and it flipped it on me. Every second one is rotated the wrong way. This game, man, I really wish they would fix that. Total garbage UI. Why? Don't understand. And now it's getting dark, so I'm going to have to take a break in the middle of all this. Thanks, yeah. I should probably go do that. This is going to be frustrating in the dark. Frustrating anyway. You think you triple check things and then like, oh, the game's like, oh, well, we'll just change the UI. Why would we place it where you want to place it? We have better ideas. We would like to rotate it 180 degrees every other time. Not every time, just every other time. It's very difficult sometimes to remain a family-friendly streamer. The thing is, I know the game does it, and I thought that it would actually listen to me. I don't know why. I know it does it. I know it doesn't listen to me. Oh yeah. There's definitely some choice words. Anyway, good spot to step away. We take a break once an hour, folks. It is that time. Apparently self-driving just didn't want to work today. Cool. I'll be back in 5 or 6. Alright, so now we can return and delete all the things we need to delete. With the blueprint, we can hopefully get everything up and running quite quickly, I hope. I'd like to get a lot of this functionality sorted so I can do some like proper final decoration and final routing of power lines and things like that. One good way, thing that's coming up in Update 8 is being able to delete the full blueprint at once. Yeah, that will... That's not necessarily a fix to the problem, but it's a fix to the symptom that it creates, right? That's right, Sandy. We all speak typo, right? Yeah, when you build it right and you realize it has to be one thing to the left, yep. Yep. Definitely an issue. That's fun. You can't even turn around. This one's right, this one's not. And I don't want to delete anything below. I've got layers of things. Also, when did it just stop showing you the blue highlight? Belts don't tend to, like, light up consistently. The real tedious thing is going to be all these little power nodes. Oh, that was probably something I should have left there. Whoops. That. Get rid of these. Now I have to double check to make sure I've deleted everything. All right, let's try that again. I need to be close enough that I can see that it's got the right inputs. It really removes what's the fun of this, which is to build everything quite quickly, right? When you have to go so slowly for fear of making a mistake that it defeats the purpose of how fast it was for them to set it up in the first place. So this is going to be a lot easier to do before we put a roof on it. So I'm going to hook things up now. Now, this will need a roof temporarily. That should be in line. I think that's how it goes. Yep. For the life of me, I don't remember why that's there. Like, why is there a second one in the blueprint? Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It might be to keep it from drooping, but it doesn't really make any sense, does it? Not when there isn't one on the other side. I guess the idea was that it was supposed to connect across here, maybe? I probably thought it was a good idea to connect it that way, but then realized that it droops in front of the... Like, when you do that, it droops in front of the output and it looks kind of dumb. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The reason why I'm concerned about it is, like, when you start to get into these mega factories and you have a lot of nodes, I guess that's probably what it does. But as soon as you reload the save, that goes back to drooping, right? So if I do that, it hangs down the same amount. So, like, there's no point. This is the thing, I really wish that they would have created, one, the power nodes on the machines should be on the world grid, and they're not. And the other thing is that there should be a way Like, I really wish that all power on the machine was symmetrical. Like, plugs directly into a center point of the machine. It would make... Because when it's asymmetrical and you do stuff face to face like this, it really... It ends up being offset, and it's just... It's really annoying as someone that's trying to... line things up, you know, and get things look nice and tidy. Alright, so now we should be able to do this other side. What I should do is probably remove this stuff first. Yeah. Do I have room to put a blueprint designer here? Probably not. No. Anywhere? Not have the resources to load this blueprint? What? Does it tell me what I'm short? Cable. I think I've got cable up here. If not, I've got cable elsewhere. Yep. Thankfully, we're not far. So I'm just going to remove this. And that should relieve the problem. That one I'll leave because that makes sense for like coming in, the power coming in. See, it rotated it again. Autosave lag. Missing plates. Are they at least all correct? Yes. I like the green walkways. Very Devastator themed. Sorry if this is dizzying for people. Can't see. They really do put an awful lot up on the screen. Cool. So that just goes into there. I'm going to switch my main color to that. So we're going to use the same belt all the way down. I guess I have to get rid of these little ones first. It does look cool when you get all the machines lined up together, which is nice. This can just continue down. Everything else should be hooked up. They should all be the right color. So we'll do the same thing over here. Very similar to Minecraft, the hover pack has this like floaty weight thing to it that does make it difficult to aim at times. Okay, so that's the steel coming in. And then we'll do the belts coming out. Now this is all 400. We don't have to have it be the same, but we might as well. Doesn't appear to be a way to do this without lots of stuff flashing in front of us. Oh my gosh, just snap to the right thing. The fact that they're addressing the aiming in the game in Update 8 is long overdue. Hopefully it will help. Alright, so let's go... guess over here. Oh, I guess I should switch back. Well, I'll just paint them later. So put the floor hole out here. Oh, I need more beams. Those I think I have to go back to train for. What? You need to aim at a specific location? Never. Yeah, right. I guess I could probably look at my settings and see what the snapping is set to. I think there's a snapping sensitivity I could change. Also, V-Twin Guru, I feel like this might be one of your first times in the stream. If not, welcome in. How long have you been playing Satisfactory? It is first time. Cool. Keep it pretty chill around here usually. So if that's your jam, 3 months, so 200 hours? Right on. Jody Illyria subscribing with Prime for 29 months. Coming up with a big 3-0. Thanks so much, Jody. Finally able to catch a midweek stream. And found it was resub time. Thanks for all the great content. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Alright, back to grab that. We'll just do the same thing for now. If I come up with something better, great. I don't think I've changed my sign, so we'll just do that. So that's all these belted up. This still needs to have power. And now that it's raining, my frames will drop. 2 things I wish were native to the game: day-night cycle and control over weather. Sorry, I should clarify. Controlling the day-night cycle and controlling the weather. Okay, that should be everybody hooked up. Do I have the hookup for the inputs? I think I do. Yes, and yep, that's right. I guess I just have to do that second floor eventually, but that's all sorted. So it's just a matter of getting the actual power. Now I brought the power in. So one of the things that we were working on the power rerouting right when it crashed Friday. So just gonna bring everybody up to speed. The main power from Megatron comes in at that pole right up there. So we bring it up into our main storage area and hub, and then it comes across here, and it comes down this main hub here, this main pole, and I've got it marked. So that is the main power. So if we look at a telephone pole or a power pole, that's our 60,000 coming in from Megatron. And so what I've done here is I've connected this. This is all the same network. So then this kind of goes underneath the road. And this goes all the way down here. I'm planning to start them up. I think I have enough. I just have to double check where the extra iron is coming from. So this is coming in from a different point. I'm going to have to think about how I handle this, but this is all power. This comes in through here, and then right here is where we come and go into the building. And I thought it would be cool to try to hook up some of the machines this way via switches. So, I don't know if these are going to stay here. So this is kind of a rough idea. I want to see if I like doing this before I continue to do it. So what we'll do here is, I think I will probably remove this and this. And then I'll grab, that comes out here. So what we need to do is actually have double-sided wall outlets, but line them up with the B side. So right in the middle for that one. I just have to make sure I can see that on the other side. Yep, that's fine. That's right, level. Matter of where it is. No, I don't want to do that. Looks like right in the middle of that section. And the last one is going to be right on the edge. So we should now be able to connect the B side. Planning on starting them up today? I hope to. I've never really taken the time since these switches came out to like wire everything separately. So I thought this would be just a fun experiment, like a little bit of a learning curve. So if we're going to go left to right with alpha, beta, gamma, delta, delta would be this section right there. And that's going to be the farthest on the right over there. And this is where they hook up here. So this would be a pretty straightforward connection. We're just going to go and honestly, I think maybe we'll just go sideways here with a wall outlet. So all of these are at the same spot here. This can come out to here and connect to there. Now these ones I'll have to be careful. This one will have to go along the wall, I think. So I don't think we have many spots. Oh, there is 2 spots. Okay. So then this can come out to there. See, this just makes no sense. That will remove and just go straight to this. And then this one. Yeah, this is the kind of thing where like you wish that they just had a little bit more options for power. So that's all right. So I should be able to throw one switch and we should be able to see everything turn on. Not everything, one of them. So let's go with this one, which should be the gamma. Delta and gamma. Did I miss something? It might not be plugged in outside, maybe. They've got ingots and coal. I don't have all ingots. I'm shy. What was I shy? I was short on the ingots. So we need 1,600. It's not 300 a minute. This is 60. This is more than, this is 1,800. So I've got to redo the data here on the sheet. So this is 1,800. We've only got 1,200. So the belts aren't hooked up. That's why they look so empty. What I don't understand is why this is not powering on. Because it doesn't have anything on the other side of it. Did I disconnect it somewhere? Yeah. So why... Oh, that one I just happened. That's the one that wasn't plugged in. I must have deleted it by accident. Now it should work. No fancy animation. It wasn't fast enough. Or maybe because there's no... I thought they powered on and did something cool when you turn them on. Guess not. Okay. So we'll do beta as well. The reason why we're only doing 3 is because we only have enough iron coming in for 3. There is 400 iron missing. That's what we're short 400 iron. I have the belt thing up. Sorry. Spreadsheet in the way bits, Sandy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, you didn't miss much. Nothing happened. All I did was turn on the switches. The lights turned green and those turned yellow and nothing else happened. Because I thought there was a big animation. That's why I was trying to wait to turn these on. But anyway. So the only thing left to do is just bring the power upstairs for these guys. And for that... I think what we'll do is probably bring it up the wall. At least for now. Probably would be better to have it run under the belt, maybe, or close to the belt. Doesn't really matter which one of these it connects to. I'd say that's pretty straight. We still can't really do like floor connections. And actually, what we'll probably do is this. I really don't like the way that they've changed the way that these things work. It was annoying, but it was easier the other way to understand. It would be very interesting to see what changes they make from a UI perspective once the game is in full release and they have like feedback from people. Say what's working and what's not. Let's go back underneath here. Do I want to go to that one? I guess we could use another switch. I don't know whether the AB is going to be in the right situation. It'll be the reverse. Should be fine. So we'll just call this steel pipes. That's everybody on there. And then we'll just do the same thing over here. We'll just have it connect to this side. Grab a wall. I guess we just need the single for this. Oh no, actually let's do the double. And then we'll run it back here. Don't need all these in the middle now. Let some light down through. Yeah, hide everything that's nice ore. Exactly. It's my plan anyway. So these are all not on. They have the inputs, they have the outputs. What we need to do now before we turn everything on is connect these lifts up to something on the main bus that's heading in that direction. This belt is free, as is the lower one. It would be nice if I could keep them all in the same sort of area. This is coal, I think. So we've got these two belts here. I'll just have to change this to go lower. Because this was overflow, I think. What's the center on this? Center is overflow, and it's coal, so it's 200 overflow a minute. That's a Mark 3, that's a Mark 4. So 200. And then all we need to do is probably just take this all the way till it gets to here, and then it can go down. That has to be a Mark 3. No, I don't watch football or soccer. I watch Ted Lasso. I'm not sure if that helps. Right, so that gets out of the way. So we're going to use these two sections right here. So I'll remove this. We've got two belts of 400 coming out. And we will just continue these along. Why does that not line up? Is this crooked? Oh, that's crooked. That's why. I was like, what is wrong? So I don't know where these are going to go. They're just going to stop there, I think. We might as well paint them so we know what's going to be on them. And then we just have to line them up with the exports, which are there in the center. So that should be pretty easy. These are all situated so that we can put mergers or splitters on these. That's in the middle, so we'll just pop one of those down there. So that's that one, and then this one is in the middle of this belt. Oh no, whoops. I put that in the wrong belt. So these are new belts. And then all we have to do is decide how we're going to run that. I'd say for now, so I can see what's going on, I'm just going to run the lift this way. A little bit crooked, but that's fine. And then this one will have to go all the way down. Oh, and this one we can just bring down to the ground. That's not a big deal. Right, so that's 800 steel pipes heading out to heavy modular frames. And so what's left now is just making sure that the coal train is running. We have the iron coming in. That's ready. So if we go down here, you'll see I've got the iron. It's sitting here ready to go. 600 coming in there. And 600 coming in here, and that's going to go into this belt right here. The coal, all we have to do is make sure that these two belts and this third belt, which is this one. So on this side, these three belts have got to be hooked up. Yep, we're one step closer. Actually, this puts us like several steps closer because we need the steel beams or steel pipes for encased industrial beams and the heavy modular frames. So we're killing two inputs here. So it's those three bottom belts. Three bottom belts. Uno, dos, tres. I think they're all hooked up. We just have to... Alright, so that goes to there. These two go to here, so it's these three belts here. And they are hooked up to the train. These are empty. The question is the train hooked up? So we want to go to Scrapper. Train is not hooked up. And is the train full of anything? Train is full. These are... They need to be unloading. So some of this stuff was not saved because of our crash on Friday. So we'll just turn on self-driving. And I guess we'll just follow the coal back. So it didn't unload anything? I don't know why it didn't unload anything. Or maybe that was the other train I'm hearing. There we go. I heard the other train pull away. One, two, three. Good stuff. They're all Mark 5s. This one's going to be a little bit light because of the load of the train. The smaller load. So once we hook up the iron ingots, it should go. Like a story, will they reach the goal? I hope so. So I'll go this end first, and this won't stay open. I don't know why. I keep on saying switch to automatic mode, switch to always closed mode, switch to always open mode, and it closes the door. So like, I don't understand. That's distributing there. What's going on here? Should be ingots. And this should be also hooked up. Ingots and overflow. Not sure why the overflow's not working. That's weird. It needs to fill up the belt first. This didn't. Oh, you know what? That's a Mark 5. I bet you I put the wrong belt here. Yep, I did. There we go. That's what the problem was. 600 a minute, not 400 a minute. Now, I don't know why these stutter, because this should be 200. I guess maybe I've put too large of a belt there. So at most, that should be a Mark 3. Same thing here. Still stutters a bit, which is weird. But we've got all the ingredients going up. You can't see anything because it's dark. Lots of smoke. What a lovely environment. We've got this stuff being exported. Now, obviously, these we didn't belt that up, and that will affect everything up here. So this will take a while to kick on. We filled this up already because, of course, it's not going anywhere. There's what all the parts look like. I guess I could take this on and put it into like an awesome sink or something. Just do like a little merger or something here. Won't be perfect because of the rates won't line up, but it's fine. So they'll move a little bit. That's kind of cool. Not as bright as I wanted to be. But yeah, we forgot to hook up this here. So we can have 3 of our 4 foundry rows going. Only 2 of them will continue to run because we're only using 2, the middle 2. So this one will eventually freeze up because it's the iron or the steel ingots are not going anywhere. And this one isn't even powered on. Well, looks like it's working. I like the idea of leaving the center of these floors open. Creates a cool effect. Minus all the smoke. Totally my fault. Got so invested in the coal belts I forgot about the break. That's all right. I've got to wrap things up anyway. Yeah, so alpha is still off. Well, you can still see some movement even before you get right in front of it. That's cool. I'm still on the fence about whether I want this to be a larger opening or whether I want it to be small. Could have like a large opening like that, maybe. Concrete foundations. Could be kind of cool to have like a nice wide entry. Especially if we doubled up on that and created like a little bit of a ceiling. Why is that snapping there? That's weird. I thought they normally snapped to the midpoint, but I could be wrong. What is going on? Like, what? Something is screwy. Why is it snapping over there? Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I like that idea or not. I mean, we'd come up with a different, maybe a different texture. We wouldn't necessarily do it all this way. It does look cool with the large opening. I agree. And it doesn't have to be that large. We can come halfway. Like we could do something cool on the outside or lights or something, right? And there's no lights in here at all. I've not done any of that. You know, I also forgot that the gray is going to change on the top floor. Yeah, we could probably come up with a way to have some lights in here. Maybe we have lights on the wall or something. Yeah, there's definitely some messed up connections happening here. Like it won't snap to the right thing. I don't know. Seems like a good point for me to save the game. Just in case. What is that? That's steel and steel pipes hooked up. Cool. Well, we can work on some of the aesthetics and stuff a little bit later. But I'm going to pass you all along to, I believe, Total Eclipse is still live. I will double check that just in case. They are. Perfect. So that's going to be where I wrap things up. Thanks so much for hanging out today, folks. I know it was a bit of a slog early on with the blueprint error, but we're getting there. And if I back up a little bit, it's starting to take shape. Like it's starting to feel more like a big factory with lots of moving parts and lots of different aspects. And this is all going to be kind of like unbalanced and kind of helter-skelter until we get all the right ingredients going. And they also have to be consumed at the right rate as well for it to run smoothly. But inside, that does look pretty cool with the cascading vertical belts. I do like that quite a bit. Get in the center here. Yeah, much better with a wide opening, I think. We'll work on this. We'll come up with something else, I think, in the long run. In the meantime, check out the Spun Chunks podcast. New episode out on Monday. The Citadel Cafe, planning on putting out a new episode of that today or early tomorrow. And you can check out everything else I do on Twitter and Instagram at Joel Duggan. And of course, check out Patreon if you'd like to support the stream and if you'd like to join the Discord. That is the most economical way to do that. And that's patreon.com/Joel Duggan. Thanks so much for the support today, folks. Lo, I really appreciate your message. I really appreciate the donation. Beefaroni and other people that followed, welcome in. And SweetSandi for the bits. And thanks, SweetSandi, for the modding and the help with break reminders as we get swept up in some of the cool things in Satisfactory. That's it for me, folks. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Minecraft at 1 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 3 hours. Bye for now.